Well, I don't know if I was muted or not, so we're going to do that again. Good afternoon, Scott Henderson, August 9th. Going to go over equities and risk here. Right here, we have the 30-year Treasury futures contract, and it looks like we've really found a bottom here, around this 200-day. I think that holds. That's been echoing through the markets now, and I think that's going to continue. It's also sort of created a little noise in the U.S. dollar JPY pair. So we're looking at for about 111 there as well. Now that's been holding up equities, or that's my assumption. Now that little tick that we saw in gold over the weekend was related to one of the Fed secretaries making a comment that rate hikes would be coming, even that quick after an FOMC meeting. So that just took it right off the markets. So looking at equities, the Qs, obviously, there's a little noise here around the 8th day. I was trying to scalp this morning, gave up about 920, pulled out about 20 pips, which is unusual for me. Good chance we back test this 8-day. It didn't really get going in either direction, just a lot of chop right there. But we're looking for that to push to about 378. That count hasn't changed. Just digesting around right there and looking for continuation. Now, my count off of the three, when we do hit that 378, I've got my standard box, as I call it. I have my golden box rules as far as retraces. Basically, I go to the 382 and I mark an ABC corrective wave using that, and it'll give me what my extensions are. Now, motive wave is saying it's a little deeper than that. Okay. Now, even when motive wave says it's a little deeper, I trade my box. Reason is it's consistent, it's measurable. I know when I'm right and I know when I'm wrong, and I can pull out a certain percentage there. Looking at the S&P, much cleaner looking chart, even with this escalator down, well, really was an elevator down. The 50 days held up really well. I mean, you just look at it, it's a pretty chart, really is. So we really can't think about deep lows until we cross the 200-day. And we've got a lot of room between here and there. So, that 474, if we get up there, that would be a spot you put on some risk short. Otherwise, it's just going to be that slow grind higher. It looks, it's held up much tighter than the Qs. Now the Dow, this is just a flat top. All there is to say. I was shooting for that 352.35. I'll still put a piece on there. Count showed a little higher today when I ran it, or ran it Saturday for the article. But that 352.35 still means something for me because it held through this entire range right here as far as a consistent count. And that usually means something. And then, obviously this is an internal wave we're chasing of a larger primary wave. Waves stair step up, stair step down, and they're internal waves within each one of those legs. IWM, completely different look here. However, this might be noise. Because, that 201 hasn't gone away. Anytime a count doesn't manifest or come close, either it fades, or it overshoots, or the count gets hit. So those are the three outcomes in my book that I look at whenever I'm trading. So that 201 didn't manifest, so it's still there. So until we close above that 234.53, there's no chance at looking at longs. And honestly, it's shallow enough where I don't know that I'm going to try and chase it for that $10 here. There's just too much decay there. Now, again, going back to the 30-year, again, that bottoms in, that is going to echo into TLT. And I really don't know here. And the reason being is the primary count is this, or the alt count is this ABC, and we're falling short of that alt count as we speak. Okay. And just like we saw in the SPY, or excuse me, not the SPY, I'm going to jump over to Roku real quick. Quite often we're seeing equities in the middle. They're not, the tickers, they're pushing, but they're failing. Like, for example, we pushed and failed, pushed and failed, pushed a little bit and failed. Okay. So we're seeing that in the count. And I expect similar to that in TLT here. So I got stopped right here just before Friday's close because I tightened up a little bit. The stop's still in place, the 144.64, but I'm going to be honest with you, if you're still in it, you're going to get taken out. I don't see any reason that's going to hold. I think we're going to come down at least back test the 8-day with what's going on with a 30-year. So, all right. Now let's go back to Roku real quick a second. Now, and where did my count go on this? Sometimes this app is temperamental and things disappear. Okay. So we put a little piece on Roku today. We're thinking that this, lost my spot, had to rethink. Okay. So we're looking for this 522 is what we're trading, even though, our 5 is up here, it's elongated, so we're looking for this to get back up to that 3. That's really the primary target, is at 507. So I came in a little shallower than that because of the fact that we're seeing, the push, it fails. I'm not saying that failed, but my point is it pushed, failed, pushed, failed, pushed, failed, pushed, failed is what I'm thinking on the tape. So I didn't put on a 460 thinking that maybe we see a 416 or 420 in a worst case scenario. So even though I didn't like the delta, I didn't like the premium that I paid for it, I was thinking that it was at least a 30 to 40% gain if I was completely wrong and this thing just faded from here. So that was my thought with Roku as far as putting that on. Now we're looking for SLV to push down to 21 and then take a position there on the long side. Now, I would suspect we could hold this for a while once we get up there. Now, we've been in this trading range for quite a while, this 20 to this $27 range. And we could stay in that. So, I mean, what I was looking for are these euphoric back tests and a push, euphoric back test and a push, euphoric back test and a push. And the reason I like that is because I really don't think there's any way you can lose on that, because we're going to go up and back test 50-day at some point. So it's just a matter of how deep we buy there as far as time, or we sell 21 or sell 2050. I haven't actually looked at the options yet to make a suggestion there, but that's my thought on SLV. Looking at ABIV, this is something we can put on now. 113.90 got tagged, and we're just hovering around 114 today. And either this thing gets up and gets out, or it chops around here and then gets out. I don't think we're going to come down below that 113.90. Push the stop a little bit to the prior low, to the 111.52. Gets below that, then I'm wrong. Okay. Now, Overstock is my BTC play. I like it only because I think we got a shot at 100 and conservatively a shot at 60K on BTC. So this is sort of my look, and we're pushing this 70 now. I don't know that we're going to get 61. I might have to make a decision before midweek on whether I want a piece on or off on this. I'm in Ethereum still. So, I've already got a decent position size there. Really had pieces on from 2K. So we're doing decent there. But for those of you who don't have a position, this is actually a good stock, I think, to put some common shares on and trade either side out of it for premium, because it's got some serious upside as far as I'm concerned because of their blockchain holdings. The only other publicly listed company that I'm aware of that has more patent holdings and more R&D holdings, I think, is IBM. So that's just my take so far. That's what I got. Great trading this week. Until next time, folks.